Hey guys, so here bringing you another video. Now welcome back to Climb to Grandmaster. Now today we are doing POV commentary, and I will also say, I don't know why, it's just been a thing. We uploaded like 3 games of Nautilus in a row, and you're now going to get 2 games of Veigar in a row. I don't play these games most of the time back to back to back. There's normally games in between. But I'm against a LUCIAN mid, which is really weird in modern day League. But just to mention, we did fail the master promo that you guys would have left the content on in a bit of a tilting way. I believe I played a Swain game. We were doing okay. We held our own. But unfortunately, my Ezreal in that game went 1 and 9. I'm not kidding. He got tilted out of his mind and just played as with that score, as you could probably expect, not very well. So that lost us the promo, unfortunately. You know, it was a really big grind getting back into game 5, you know, to try and win it. And yeah, we just couldn't do enough. Well, yeah, I played Swain again because he seems to be kind of my new, I don't know, he seems to be my new comfort pick, but Veigar also I think is very good. Again, I know there's people like, you know, Huz, where's the Veigar? Sorry, where's the Anivia? I'm burnt out with that champion at the moment is what I would officially say. Again, I'm not used to maining things. I'm not used to playing a lot of the same champion a lot. I think people know that. And I've played a decent amount of Anivia this year. Again, like 20% of my games are Anivia. 20% for one champion for me is a lot, if you've been following my channel for a long time. So I'm just having a bit of a break with it. You know, I did have some people say, and, you know, it was actually quite a nice message. Some people were like, you know, oh, you know, you got to master with Anivia. I did think maybe you were just getting to master because of Anivia, but the fact of that we did really good in that promo, we really, like, you know, I was feeling like death the first day, and we managed to get in promo and go, I think, 1 and 1, and then the rest of the games we did pretty damn good. We held our own. People were saying like, no, you do deserve to be master. It's just unfortunate having, you know, in the deciding game a 1 and 9 Ezreal. So we'll get it. You know, you'll get the content over the next few days also. It is worth mentioning, I'm recording this POV the day before the subathon begins. I'm always nervous, obviously, with how subathons are going to go. I don't know if it... Right now, I think this video will be uploaded on Monday or Tuesday, somewhere in that kind of world. I'm, you know, bulk recording as much as I can of content ahead of time. And just to kind of... For you YouTube people, if you're not into Twitch or anything, that's fine. I will still be maintaining 2 videos a day every single day. Like, that is what my aim is. I don't want to, like, even though I've got this crazy Twitch event going on, the subathon, I don't want you guys to miss out here on YouTube. So if I prepare content, nice first blood in bot lane, I think they get a double kill. If I prepare enough content, like I said, this is either Monday or Tuesday, I think I'll have up until Tuesday's roughly content complete. The subathon starts on Saturday. I'm not going to probably be playing on the main account at least tomorrow, you know, because that I think would be kind of crazy. It's the 24-hour stream in one go. But I will be playing ranked either on Sunday or Monday, so we'll be able to record fresh content and get it uploaded for you guys later in the week. So there will be no gaps, because, yeah. But yeah, just to mention, Veigar. I like this champion. He is, to me, a really stable mid laner, and if you want that hyper-scaling carry, he's a good option. So one thing I will say, which was really funny, I don't think you'll see it in this video per se, but the top laner, it was either the boss or the Bowls, however you want to pronounce his name, either him or the biggest, I will say, wannabe in the world. And I'm not saying that in a mean way. His playstyle is identical. You'll see it throughout this game. But it's not just that. I actually looked at the guy's profile. His top 3 champions is literally Sion, then Gragas, now Volibear. It's like he literally just plays what that guy plays. So I actually found it funny. You know, again, certain players, I guess, must model themselves after certain content creators. And that is one of the biggest examples I've ever seen of that. Like, it was actually crazy. I was like, what? So that was quite funny. But yeah, I'm against a LUCIAN mid. Again, was a bit confused about that. Meanwhile, bot lane is doing really nicely. And again, just to say mentally, why am I doing this as a POV commentary? Again, this game, I wasn't commentating. It's not like, oh, was you salty or anything and that's why you're doing it? Nope, literally wasn't commentating. It was a bit, I don't know, again, I missed that cannon for going to protect him. Oh no, I get the cannon, well done me. It was a bit mentally frustrating to obviously lose the promo, and, you know, it did take a bit out of me, especially, you know, you feel that you deserve it and all of that stuff combined, and you don't get it again. which obviously we got Master already, but I would like to maintain Master, get it again, and get up to like 100 LP. That's where I feel I could be. So it was just tilting, you know, that's the word. It was tilting, but I was happy with how I was playing, so I wanted to continue playing, but it was that just kind of mood. I don't know, like, it's hard to explain. You know, I'm sure some of you get it, but if ever you just, let's just say in an office job, whatever is going on in your life, sometimes you just don't want to talk to anybody, right? I get that as a streamer, but like, it's my job to stream in front of hundreds of people and then make videos for thousands of people potentially. So for me, when I'm in that kind of I don't want to talk to anybody mode, it's the idea of, all right, I can keep streaming, I can focus on my gameplay, I'm just not going to talk, and I'm just going to try and play well. And that is the thing, you know, generally, do you play better when you're not actually having to commentate? The answer is yes. You know, this early game, I will say, really nice cage, into the kill. Lucian does really desperately go for Ignite Flash. He's also, by the way, rushed Hex Drinker, which you can understand why he's doing it, but it kind of defeats the point of Lucian mid. For him to do anything as Lucian mid, he has to get ahead of me in the early game, and Hex Drinker is more of a defensive item than an offensive. That's about surviving a Veigar combo rather than killing a Veigar. Like, if that guy had a Dirk in that situation, I was probably dead by his increased damage. So that's kind of the mentality. But yeah, I don't know why we're against a Lucian in mid. I think he might have been a Lucian weirdly main mid lane, or like he was a second champion or something. I remember roughly that, which is weird. Again, you have to sometimes give respect for, like, oh, you're in Diamond 1, Master, MMR. I think a bunch of people might have been Master this game. I don't remember. You know, it's like we've seen a few Amumus recently. How the hell are you in Master or Diamond 1 with Amumu in modern day League? It doesn't make any sense. How are you in this rating as with Lucian mid? Sometimes you've actually weirdly got to respect it, because like that must be hard to climb with these kind of bad picks. Like, that's the thing. And obviously I've always said technically player is more important than champion. You know, that's technically true. But you do make it harder for yourself. Like, that's the thing. You know, if you're not playing a great pick, you are making it actively harder for yourself than it needs to be. But yeah, the Scion, as you can probably expect, he is feeding in the early game. I don't know, like, I've watched the boss videos. Obviously I've seen what he does, and I know a lot of it is deaths, and they say worth deaths if they can maintain above 10 CS per minute. I get that, but I still find it weird. Like, I don't know, let me know what you guys think, but if I ever went on my profile and I was looking at my average KDAs, or KDs, and I was like, dude, I die like 10 times a game and I get maybe 2 kills. I couldn't do that. Like, I know KDA isn't everything, and, you know, I've always said try not to be a pure KDA player, but then it, to me, is the extreme opposite. Like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's just a bit too funky to, like, give free deaths completely up. Because, like, a good player, if you do feed the wrong player on purpose, because it is kind of a weird form of intentionally feeding, technically, they can just carry the game. They can take the game and run. So the enemy is going for like a big play in bot lane. Thresh does trade with the Zeri. Lucian's missing, who is now bot lane, by the way. So again, actively looking for roams. That doesn't surprise me too much. Again, he's not been successful in mid so far. He's got an early farm lead, but that's kind of intentional by me. I'm not actively going to play aggressive into a Lucian. The whole point of that champion is to win lane and get ahead. I know I'm going to kill him later. We all know I'm going to kill him later. Sion's dead again. Again, shouldn't be doing that. Double ping on him. Again, as I think some people have seen, I was doing that maybe quite a bit too much a few weeks ago. He did actually get the trade kill, by the way, with his passive. I have really toned that down, so hopefully you guys have noticed that. And again, if you haven't noticed it, well, maybe that's the point. You notice when I'm doing it, but you don't notice when I'm not doing it. But yeah, I don't really do that anymore. Obviously, today, with losing Master promo, again, I'm not even commentating this game. I wasn't even talking, I'm pretty sure, for 95% of the match. Yeah, like, it was just a bit tilting. I would say in this game, I was still tilted. You know, that's the thing. And the reason why, because some people may, you know, even when I was streaming, I was like, you know, should I end stream now? Or anything like that. I didn't want to end stream after losing the Master promo. The reason why, and I would actually say this is more, you know, league advice, life advice, whatever it may be you want to call it, I would have felt like a loser. Like an actual, I would have felt like a loser because I've lost. I didn't get Master. You know, I would have ended on that. I didn't want to end on that. So I actually will say we played 3 more games from memory after losing the Master promo. What I wanted to do, meanwhile Sion does die again, I wanted to try and get back into Master promo, because then that at least would be like, hey, I'm back already. I wouldn't have done the Master promo. I would have left it, but that's what I wanted. I was like, right, let's try to get Master promo. Now, bot lane's doing well. They end up with a couple kills. They double kill the bot lane. That does seem to be a bit of a Fiesta lane happening. Talon looking to do Rift Herald, does back out of it, which is good. And I don't know if anybody noticed, by the way, when I press tab, Renekton's building weird. Now, again, I do see there's a bunch of champions building Sunfire, like even Diana for some reason is building Sunfire. But like Renekton building Sunfire is just bizarre to me. Meanwhile, hello, Lucian. I just get the damage off before anything. I'm going to get killed by Echo clearly, but at least we trade. I get the kill, Lucian gets the kill. I think Talon's okay here. And you can, by the way, notice the Talon's name. I believe he was a Talon one trick. Obviously, it's a fairly toxic name, what he's got. Alright, sorry about that. If there's some weird skip, basically, the way that I record these POV commentaries, again, it's the way that I've had to do it for ages. I have to watch the replay on, like, you know, just Windows videos, and I'm commentating over that. I pushed my keyboard annoyingly, and it put it right to the beginning of the video replay. So if there's some weird jump edit there, apologies. I didn't want to start the whole replay over again, because that would have been really annoying, because I've got 2 of these to do. Again, I'm actually recording this, I think I mentioned the day before the subathon, so I kind of want to get everything done. And even though, you know, recording for 10-15 minutes or whatever we've been recording for, yeah, I didn't want to start that again. And I felt like we've actually done a nice commentary so far. So just to mention a bit, you know, a bit more educational point if we wanted to go that angle a bit. So the goal against a Lucian, I think it's been pretty obvious. Just, you know, if you're watching the gameplay, play really passive. Literally, just don't even really fight him. He's going to win the early game. Like this, I'm a Veigar, a hyperscaling mage. He's a Lucian. Again, he scales better than maybe I first thought he did, but he still doesn't scale amazing. Like, again, he's not going to really do much to me later. Let's be honest. So it's more about surviving, getting through the lane phase as well as we can, and limiting deaths. Like, that's the point. Again, this is why maybe the Sion kind of thing to me is so weird. Because when I play a late game champion like Veigar, and Sion himself is quite late game too, but when I play something that scales, I'm more about, I'm limiting my deaths. I don't want to let the early game thing get ahead, right? Like, that's where my mentality goes. Meanwhile, Lucian trying to go a bit aggro. Again, I think he's starting to realize that he actually needs to. So he's ulting, we're fine. He takes a tower hit then even. Talon goes down, but trades with the Renekton with probably his dot passive. Didn't use Ignite, it's still on cooldown. But yeah, that's my mentality. My mentality when I'm playing a late game champion is survive, survive, survive. And I think that's where it just differs. The Sion aspect is not survive, it's maximize your gold income. That's what it is. Even it's maximizing your personal gold income, even if that means you're giving gold to the early game thing. You know, again, this game, Renekton. If the Renekton, I would say his build wasn't good. Like, I would never build Sunfire Renekton. That actually seems terrible to me. You know, the whole point of Renekton is to be a damage dealer, to be scary in that aspect, and then get tankier later. So again, with getting 3 kills from a Sion in the early game, why would you go Sunfire? Like, that to me is just really weird. That's blowing the early lead of what Sion is giving you. He's giving you, you know, Renekton's got 6 kills right now. He's got 6 kills worth of gold, but it's becoming relatively irrelevant because Renekton's job is to kill things, and he's not probably going to start doing that with Sunfire. That's the weird thing. So we're doing Dragon. I did want Talon to pull the Dragon out of the pit, but he didn't. The enemy team, as you can see, is trying to have a vengeance here. So Talon just does a smart thing and ults away. I get myself a nice kill on Zeri. Gonna go for a cage just to block the Swain in, but he actually had flash. He does actually a weird flash. I would have flashed down over the wall. He opts for the other direction. And now Echo, as you can see, is going really all in for me. Both top laners join us into the fight. Cage, but again, Echo has flash also, and Sion does go down. I think Sion ended up with 1 kill though, which isn't too bad. We get the Dragon, we get 1. I think we killed 2. They only killed Sion, so actually that's not too bad. For a comp that I would say we do naturally outscale it quite well. Again, they have a Zeri, obviously that scales mad, but they have a Lucian. That's not great for scaling, let's be honest, compared to a Veigar. And they have a Renekton. Again, not great for scaling. The Lucian, as you can see, is starting to get a bit desperate. He was waiting in our jungle, of all places, and he tried to fight the Talon in the 1v1. And he died. So this is where, again, the game, unfortunately, for the Lucian is just starting to completely unravel. Heading over to help the Talon. Did I not? No, I don't use Predator. Do a cage, though. We obviously know a bunch of their things got used in the last fight. Land a nice bit of damage, help the Talon, and we kill both of them for none of us. And then again, bot lane, both of my bot lane dies. So that's been a very back and forth bot lane. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to that, but then, you know, and it's usually double kills. Like, Triss gets a double kill, or Zeri gets a double kill. It's a bit weird. But yeah. Obviously, again, Zeri, very strong champion right now. Again, if you want to give another opinion in the comment section, please feel free. I obviously really like when people are talking in the comments, and I like to learn about opinions and stuff. Do you think Zeri is healthy for League? Like, that's the thing. We've seen Zeri now in the patch notes for the last few patch notes, and we're probably going to continue seeing her in the patch notes because the champion just never, since her launch, and she's not even that old, let's be honest, she's just never felt balanced. She's only felt really strong or really weak. And again, it's what I've spoken about for many, many years. If a champion fundamentally has a bit of a broken kit, that's the only way that a champion can be. It'll either be broken because, you know, oh, we haven't toned down their damage. We haven't balanced, we're just letting them do whatever they want, and they've got a broken kit. Or they are useless because, oh, they have a broken kit. Right, the only way that we can do anything is make their numbers weak. And then eventually what you start seeing happening, it's what happened to Akali and all this. Meanwhile, getting ganked. And by the way, this is hilarious. I recognize, wait, I can kill that guy. So literally in a 2v1 against Zeri and Lucian, I'm like, wait a minute. I landed that and I can kill you. Echo going all in for me, land a really nice cage. And unfortunately, we don't get the kill straight away, but we will get it momentarily. So we're actually landing some nice cages. Sion makes his way over, which was, I would say, the one good thing I'll say about this Sion, he wasn't an island player. There are so many, again, not just even Sions, just top laners, that they will always refuse to group. They are just like, I am on the island, it's tropical, it's warm, I'm not leaving. Got 19 gold, I think, for that Swain. This Sion actually was getting involved earlier than I expected him to, and he actually was making some good plays. I think that Renekton just TP'd, by the way, to get over here, because he literally was just top lane, and now he's mid, so that potentially was a TP. But yeah, the game is going really good. But it is hilarious that to the point of I'm already out farming the Lucian. So he was out farming me, but that's the kind of mentality of just keep going, just keep farming. And we're already killing him in a 2v1. And I at that time, I only have one proper item complete. That's the difference of something like a Veigar and a Lucian. Like, again, I don't think Lucian belongs in mid, clearly. And if you do want to take him mid, as I mentioned earlier, you have to get ahead. Like, there's no way around it. You have to get ahead. If you don't, that's no good. But anyway, gonna go bot lane. I've got teleport up. So again, that's when, usually when a mid laner that takes teleport like Veigar, you can start to go bot lane and try to get that solo XP, the solo farm, and build yourself up to that level 16 mark. That is usually a big power spike for mages like Veigar. But I opt, again, against it. I think at the time I was thinking a play was about to happen in mid. And I would say one of my weaknesses as a player, I have many, as we all do. One of my weaknesses as a player, and it is a weakness, meanwhile I'm popping Predator, give some vision, is I hate to not be involved. Again, it's why I'm not a big fan of split pushing. It fundamentally goes to a psychological reason, not a mechanical reason. The reason why I hate to not being involved in a play or a team fight, and psychologically reason, I don't trust my team. Meanwhile, you can see I'm pinging my Talon to take away the dragon, and he doesn't. Again, that is jungle basics, I will say. Like, again, when you are literally first learning how to jungle, you are taught one of the first things, pull the dragon out of the pit. Because, again, you're giving that free potential. Meanwhile, nice cage into the flash hook by Thresh, which is nice. and that enables us to get that kill. Again, Lucian's just doing no damage at this point of the game, and we do end up... oh my god, I made the exact same mistake. I thought, by the way, I literally thought it again. I thought that dragon got stolen, by the way, and I literally just remembered it thinking it got stolen. Talon did get that dragon somehow, but again, jungle fundamentals do take the dragon out of the pit. That was so close to being stolen because of, oh, you know, they get to have free engage. Meanwhile, Echo, I, by the way, thought I was dead. Flash away from him. Unfortunately, I didn't land the perfect Everfrost here. He E's wrong, by the way. I don't know if anybody else noticed that. He E'd a minion. He actually mucked up, and my Q randomly gets him. So that Echo 100% should have killed me, let's be honest. I didn't have my ulti. It just came up on cooldown. If I had ulti, I probably would have killed him fairly easily there, but I didn't. And the only reason I survived that situation is because Echo, his E, which I will say I think is one of the unhealthy parts of Echo, is the fact that it's a proper latch spell. And what I mean by that is even if you flash it or use one of your movement abilities, if Echo hits the E on you, it will go on you. Like, there's nothing you can do. It latches. But as a negative of that ability, if you wanted to give it one, he accidentally hit a minion there, so he proper latched to that minion instead. If that was a skill shot, that instead of latching onto a, you know, an actual target, if you aimed it, that Echo probably would have killed me then. Meanwhile, Lucian, again, little top tip, everybody, you can't miss your Everfrost if you go directly onto him. So that's the thing. If any time you go Everfrost, or, you know, you're playing a mage like Ari, and you're trying to land a charm, how do you make it easier for yourself to land it? Reduce its travel time. The bigger the distance between you and the opponent, you're giving it more travel time, therefore it's easier to dodge, because you're giving a longer period of time for your opponent to actually dodge it, flash out the way, whatever. If you go right next to them, they don't have much time to dodge it because it's right there. So that's just a little tip there. But yeah, I'm 3 levels right now ahead of the Lucian. And by this point, again, he's fallen off. He's not scaling as well as people in the game. This is a great example of why I personally would not play something like Lucian mid. At least maybe not in this rating bracket, or at least not having a comp built around it. Again, I don't follow pro play. I don't know if they're playing Lucian mid, but as I've always said, pro play is very different. How could you make Lucian mid work in pro play? Well, make sure you have other scaling champions on your team. So, you know, if like this game, they've got a Renekton and a Lucian, well, those are 2 kind of bad scaling champions. They're kind of screwed if the game gets the late game, right? So if you're having a Lucian mid, that is incredibly good early game pressure. That's kind of the same when it came to Renekton. Why was Renekton so good in pro play? Boom, 112 gold on Swain. He was so good in pro play because you'd use the Renekton for the complete early game power, and then he transitioned into being a distraction in mid to late game rather than a carry. But in pro play, you can do that because you can build a comp knowing that, and having other picks that scale instead. Meanwhile, save the Talon there, which was nice. And that's the thing I say with Lucian. If you want to make something like Lucian mid work, dare I say, and I know people are about Huzz, you feeling okay? Not really, no. Anyway, potentially you need to duo, as crazy as that sounds, and your duo has to play something that scales. You know, plays a jungler that scales, plays an AD carry that scales. That potentially is what you need to do if you want to make Lucian mid work consistently, because consistently, nice kill on Zeri, it's consistently in solo queue where people don't build comps around each other, they just play the champion they want to play. Like, I will say, if you're a player like me, that you look at your comp and kind of go, what do we need here? If, again, you're not blind pick, first pick, if you actively are like, what do we need? You're in the minority of ranked player. The majority of ranked players just play the champion that they're going to play anyway. Like, that's the point. You know, they don't have to be a one trick or a main. If they are simply just in the mood to play Renekton, they're going to play it. Even if every other champion on their team is early game, if they're in the mood to play Renekton, that's what they're playing. Meanwhile, just trying to stop the enemy team getting on us. I probably should walk away at this point. I was being a little bit spicy. Again, not too scared of the Lucian, as we have mentioned before. The dragon is up, which, again, not great by us to overstay, I will say, because the enemy team is now pretty decent in health pool, and we're drained a bit. Thresh is nearly dead. I'm half health. This is risky. Once again, by the way, the Talon is not pulling the dragon out. It's so weird. I do end up, by the way, getting a nice cage. Talon, again, the good thing is this Talon, maybe he doesn't do it because he's just confident in his smiting ability. And then again, I think I did say something on the stream at the moment, kind of going, look at this fun League of Legends player. So again, kind of the part of the reason I'm not a massive fan of the Sion playstyle is because, again, that I don't like people just trying to backdoor that type of thing. So I teleport as well, and I think I even make the point is that I'm going to be boring too. I ignore the inhib because I don't want to do that. I want to fight. That's why I like playing League of Legends. And yeah, so I ignore that, and bam, skill button used on Swain, and that ends us 10-1-10. So actually a really nice KD. I would call this a relatively free game of League of Legends, and sometimes you just have a feeling going into Champion Select of they have a Renekton, they have a Lucian. This should be free. That was the mentality that I had going into this game. I had the mentality of, I don't think this game is going to be that difficult. And lo and behold, it wasn't. So that made us, we got demoted out of the Master Promo, and we got put at 80 LP. We weren't going to gain 20 LP, obviously, for this match, so it would be interesting to see how much LP we were going to gain. I honor the Talon because he was good. I get a Mastery Token, and we only gain 15 LP. Again, I never know. I'd love Riot to do a proper explanation of how it all works. Like, again, unfortunately, we've dropped from a 54% win rate. We're a 53% win rate overall now, which is still really good for Master Diamond 1 MMR. We're maintaining games. We're doing well. I don't know what I can do more to not get 15 LP. You know, that's the thing. It's weird. I'd love for Riot to officially come out with like one of those Riot Please documents that they do occasionally and explain it. But yeah, we do 20,000 damage. Again, 6,000 roughly more than the Lucian. Overall, a really nice game. So that was a really good game for my mental as a bounce back. That was awesome. But anyway, that's going to be it. If you guys enjoy, throw a like on it, throw a comment, throw a subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace.